moving through our area. So for now, we're watching this rain, and you see lightning, some thunderstorms embedded in this big pocket of rain that's starting to move into our western neighborhood. So if we zoom in closer, you can see where these storms are. It's just a steady rain through parts of Newcastle County, and then a pocket or two of thunderstorms have developed over the Delaware Bay. These are going to slide into Cumberland County. So with some lightning, we always say make sure you're heading indoors because lightning can stretch out far from the actual center of the worst rain. We also see rain in Chester County and some of it moving through Berks County. Berks County does not need any rain. It is already absolutely saturated from this weekend, so anything we get right now is going to be insult to injury come tomorrow. In terms of our chances of rain, take a look. Throughout the night, we've got scatter chances, and you see that with that area of rain moving through, some pockets of storms possible. But the heaviest rainmakers, that chance starts to move up as we get into tomorrow morning. That's because that's when Tropical Storm ISAIAS will start to make its approach. So coming up in just a few minutes, we will talk more about the impacts of that storm.
People living in Berks County are bracing for another round of flooding.
Just yesterday, cars were underwater and streets flooded, making another round of storms an even bigger threat. NBC 10's Mitch Blocker reports from Muhlenberg Township.
Gordon LeMay has seen his neighborhood flood before, but never like this.
Yesterday morning at 6:30 when I woke up and I saw my truck half underwater, I could not believe my eyes.
Monday morning, a tow truck took away his neighbor's Toyota.
It went all the way up to there and the trunk was full.
Andrea Snyder had 2 cars flooded, including her son's BMW.
It's just a loss for a kid that bought his first car.
North of Reading, on Muhlenberg Township's Park Avenue, this drainage system at the bottom of the block is supposed to keep flood water away. It didn't.
My husband has pictures of me standing into water up to my knees.
The township did not return our calls to talk about how it was preparing for more rain. We usually see mud and tree limbs littering the street after most major storms, but Sundays left fish stranded near sidewalks.
We're going to get flooded again.
Those living here are waiting for what comes next, as another 2 to 3 inches is forecast from the coming tropical storm.
I'm worried about tonight and tomorrow because this tropical storm coming through. I don't know what to expect.
And this is a low-lying neighborhood. Many of those living here, they pay $1,400 a year for flood insurance. A lot of the neighbors, they say that there were at least 7 to 8 cars that were flooded out from Sunday's storm, as many basements were flooded, and they are hoping for a better situation all within the next 24 hours. It's the latest in Berks County. I'm Mitch Blocker, NBC 10 News.
All right, now to tracking ISAIAS and the impact in Delaware, the Jersey Shore, and even in Philadelphia. Looking live right here as the ocean kind of gets starting to churn up in Cape May County, where dozens of people were rescued this weekend, in fact, after swimming in some dangerous conditions. So from the Jersey Shore to the Carolinas, look at the dark skies, the wet camera lens there. No one in the ocean here in Myrtle Beach. The people there, they're bracing for the impact. Jacqueline?
Let's go to our hurricane expert, NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz. If anyone can break down the timing of this, you can, Glenn Hurricane.
All right. Thanks, Jacqueline. Well, make it simple. For the folks at the shore, don't go to the beach tomorrow. And if you're not at the shore, don't go driving to the shore tomorrow, because it's going to get not only nasty, dangerous. 70+ mile-an-hour wind gusts. You won't be driving in that. Take a look at the map right now. The storm's getting closer to making landfall in South Carolina. We have the thunderstorms wrapping around the center, but it's obviously not a total circulation, so it's not quite a hurricane at this point. 70-mile-an-hour max winds. It is starting to move faster than it did, 16 miles an hour. Faster it moves our way, the fewer hours of heavy rain we get, but we also get gustier winds. There we are with the landfall near the South and North Carolina border. It continues. Remember the cone of concern? It very often as wide as you go out from the storm. That's as narrow as it gets. That means it's a sure bet to come right up into our area. And that's the location at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That would be the worst of it. So look what happens. In the morning, it may not be that windy, but by noon and early afternoon, this is in Philadelphia, we're talking about close to 60-mile-an-hour gusts and the storm. So if you can stay home tomorrow, that is probably the best advice. And the next best advice, if you have to go out, is to pay attention to the weather, because when that really ugly stuff starts coming, then we're talking about some dangers. We'll talk more about the amounts of rain and highest wind gusts coming up in just a few minutes. Jim, Jacqueline.
All right, we know you're watching this so closely. Glenn, thank you. We'll see you soon.
All right, back to the shore where warning signs are up and down the beach. Stay knee deep. Don't go out too far as the storm brings big waves there.
NBC 10 Jersey Shore Bureau reporter Ted Greenberg found out how people are getting ready down the shore.
Beach Haven lifeguards making sure people stay in designated swimming areas. Lorna Oates Santos also more vigilant when it comes to her kids in the water.
And we're watching everyone closely because we've heard there are some rip currents, so we're just keeping an extra eye on them. But there's great lifeguards.
An elevated risk of dangerous rip currents and growing swells fueled by ISAIAS, prompting these lifeguards to restrict swimming to no more than knee deep.
We're just going to focus on keeping everyone in close now, and the closer they are, the easier it is to kind of keep them restricted.
It's hard to get out. I got stuck yesterday, and I actually had to ride the rip current down the beach and had to take the waves in, and I had to walk all the way back down just so I could get out of the water.
I mostly swim in the water all day, so it's kind of annoying, but I understand. Like, I'd rather just stay here. There's plenty of other things to do besides swimming.
The Jersey Shore also bracing for heavy rain and strong winds from the storm. An outdoor dining tent at Steve and Cookies in Margate taken down today as a precaution. Bourré in Atlantic City taking advantage of today's sunshine, but preparing for the weather to go downhill.
We're going to stay open for the rest of the day today, see how it looks in the morning, but we are going to secure all of our tables, bring all of our umbrellas down, make sure there's nothing that could fly and injure anybody.
Mother Nature serving up another challenge during a difficult summer.
I feel like we've had a full moon like every single day, to be honest, because it's been such a crazy year. It is a bummer, but hopefully Mother Nature doesn't get too crazy and decides to chill out.
Flooding also a possibility here at the shore tomorrow. If you're on vacation at the beach, you might want to check to see if the area where you're staying floods easily. If the answer is yes, be sure to move your car to higher ground. In Atlantic City, I'm Ted Greenberg, NBC 10 News.
Now let's take a live look at Rehoboth Beach. Now, despite the warnings, there are no major storm preparations underway there. And even though the rain is expected for just one day, that decline in tourism will be just another gut punch for struggling businesses on the Delaware coast. That's especially true for restaurants, because while you can dine indoors in Delaware, many people are only comfortable eating outdoors, which probably won't be possible during much of the day. Make sure you have the NBC 10 app so you can get updates on the storm sent to your phone and tablet when the rain is near your neighborhood. And there can also be power problems with this storm tomorrow, so make sure your devices, phones, tablets are all charged in case your power goes out.